And on your election headquarters, the existing voters register is susceptible to manipulation, which could endanger and change the outcome of an election. That's according to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, who has been mounting a strong defense for the Commission's decision to create a new register for the December polls. Jean Mensah explained that the use of the current voters register will force the Commission to rely mostly on manual verification, since capturing of fingerprints were poorly done. She also argued the acquisition of the existing voter ID card under CI-12 was fraught with illegalities, since electoral officers failed to capture the source document for the registration. The NDC has dragged the EC to court over the exclusion of the existing voters ID. But the chairperson of the Commission, in an interaction with the Trade Union Congress of Ghana, observed the creation of a new register is to promote free, fair and transparent elections.
As experts advised us right from the onset that in acquiring the new system, you would be changing the operating system of the biometric voter, the system operating the biometric voter management system. And it meant that you had to migrate the data. You had to migrate the data from the old system to the new system. The result was that you could risk, and we did stand to risk, losing a lot of data of citizens who had registered. The result would be that you would go on registration, you go on voting day, and your names were missing from the register. And this was not a risk that we wanted to take, because it meant that several people, and you could not tell who, but as you migrated from the old system onto the new system, you risk losing a lot of data. And I can imagine the fury and the uproar that would go on in this country if people go to the on voting day to vote and their names were not captured. In their view, this was a big risk, and we felt that we didn't want to go forward with this risk. In their view also, the quality of the fingerprints raised issues. The capture of the fingerprints was poorly done in several instances. And even as you migrated, you risk losing even the images, the quality of the images, even as you migrated. And the result was that you would end up with a high incidence of manual verification, which we have come to observe. What happens then is that, well, you come with a card, and we allow you to vote. This could lead to manipulation, in the sense that the card may not belong to you, and because we don't have the feature of facial recognition, you could come in with a card and you're allowed to vote. And anybody, if there's collusion at that level, at the polling station level, it could lead to a high incidence of manual verification. The second reason is that the register lacks credibility. It is bloated. We have a number of dead persons on the register, and we have not been effectively able to clean this. Under this new system, we are working out modalities to be able to expunge the names of the dead from the register periodically. But we also have the issue of foreign nationals on our register. And the Supreme Court recognized this in 2014, 2015, when it ordered the Commission to expunge the names of persons who had used the National Health Insurance card to register. And so I just want to, put it out that as a Commission, our desire is to ensure that it is only those who qualify to vote who vote. And it is our desire that we leave no room for manipulation at the polling station. Because under the current situation, any manipulation there could have dire consequences for our election, in the sense that it could change the outcome of an election. Assuming that in every polling station you have a bloat and there's collusion, and polling agents turn a blind eye, and people are allowed to manually verify. What could happen is that, assuming that you decide that 10 people you verify 10 people manually, and these people do not exist, but you stuff the ballot boxes by 10 because it's bloated anyway, so there will not be the issue of overvoting. It means that if you multiply 10 by your 33,000 polling stations, You are going into close to 350,000 people, and that is enough to change the outcome of, an election. And these are some of the reasons that informed our decision to compile a new register.